Hey guys, Ozzy here. On Thursday night I got a chance to sit down and watch Thor Love and Thunder. I found that I had a few questions as well as a theory or two, and I'd like your thoughts and comments. So, if you'd do me a favor and grab Mjölnir and smash that like button. Also, make sure that you're already subscribed to the channel. And if you could, make sure to click the notification bell so you'll get all the updates on future videos like this. My first point that I want to make is we open in on Gor's home planet. Gor and his daughter are in an arid desert. They seem to be dying of dehydration as well as malnutrition and who knows what else, exposure, things like that from being out in this arid desert. But we only see Gor and his daughter. There's no other bodies, there's no cities, there's no anything really. It's completely barren expanse. So I wonder what happened to the rest of Gor's people. Where are the civilization? How is it just him and his daughter were left just out in this barren desert all on their own with barely anything with them? How did that come to pass? Then when Gor gets to the oasis and he meets Rapu, his god, and he finds the Necro Sword and he uses the Necro Sword to kill Rapu, we see that Rapu bleeds gold. So it would seem that God's blood or God's essence is gold. And later on in the movie, when we get to Omnipotence City, we see that Thor is attacked by these. They look like they could be statues, but when they're destroyed, they give off a gold essence. So I kind of wonder, were they, like, is that made from old essence of gods? Is what allows these statues to be used actually God essence? When we first see Thor and the Guardians, they're on Indigar and they're helping the indigenous race fight against Booskans, or Booskans, or Booskin, or Booskan. I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to be said, but they're fighting these kind of bird-like aliens. I'll try to put a picture up so you guys can see. They're pretty interesting looking, that's for sure. But it very much reminded me of a Muppet. It really looked like a Muppet. And I wonder, could Thor Love and Thunder actually be... I mean, the Muppets are part of Disney. So is it possible here that the Muppets are somewhere in the MCU? In multiple scenes in the movie, we see Thor use Stormbreaker to change his clothes, to add a helmet, to do different things. What exactly are Stormbreaker's powers here? Or is it Thor using his power to change the clothing and stuff like that? The only time we saw something like that was when he first, in the first movie, when he first became worthy once more to wield the power of Mjölnir, that he actually received his mail and everything back. But we haven't seen anything like that until now, where he can use Stormbreaker to seemingly change his outfit at will. Playing off that same point, when did Thor also get the ability to impart enchantments onto Mjölnir? I know that Thor is the Odinson, and he is supposed to be the next king of Asgard, and therefore would have the Odin force and everything and be able to access that when he takes over for Odin. But at the time when Jane and Thor were together, it was prior to Odin dying. So therefore, he didn't have that power as of yet. It was Odin who had the power to impart enchantments onto Mjölnir. When did Thor get that ability? Also, on the same point, as we get toward the end of the movie, we see Thor find the children of Asgard to try to get them back home, and he has them each pick up a piece of debris or something to use as a weapon. And when they do, he then also imparts part of his own Thor force, or whatever you want to call it, the Thor power, into the kids and makes them like deputy Thors. I don't know when this power came along either, but he uses Stormbreaker to do that at this point because he doesn't have access to Mjolnir. Jane currently had Mjolnir. Another point that I had was Gor's vow was to kill the gods because they didn't care for innocent lives. But when he gets to Asgard, one of the first things he opts to do is take all of the children and kidnap them to... They never really specify what. I'm assuming it's supposed to be to get Thor to come after the kids, but I mean, we don't know. Maybe he meant to kill them, but if he's saying that the whole point of why he was killing the gods is because they didn't care about the innocents under them, then isn't he just as bad now because he's willing to kill innocent children? MCU is trying to get a little dark by the looks of it, because if you guys have seen it already at the part where Valkyrie, Jane, Thor, and Korg are all getting ready to go off to fight the God Butcher and go to Omnipotence City to get help. As they're getting on the ship to leave, Thor is giving a speech and saying how he's going to get the children and bring them back and then feast, but not on the children, because we don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. That means at some point, Asgardians ate children. Okay, MCU, I see you. The only other point of contention I had with the movie ultimately was I thought that there was at times a little bit too much comedy, and I understand that Taika Waititi is more known for comedy, and I do love his comedy, and I do love what he has brought to Thor and bringing Korg to life and all of that. But I do feel that there were parts of the movie that needed to be a little bit more dramatic, and it kind of fell flat there for me. So I do kind of have this, and I put this out there. If this ever gets seen by anyone, I would love to know, Taika, why so much comedy in this? Not that I think there is anything wrong with it, but, you know, the dramatic parts I felt could have been a little bit more dramatic. But thank you for everything else that you did, and in my opinion, pretty darn good movie, and I'm definitely going to be watching again. I mean, 76 out of 100, that's not bad at all. I'll talk to you guys later. Ozzy out. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming in to Ozpinions on comics and superheroes. Make sure you show that like button some love and thunder by smashing it. Also, remember to subscribe and click the notification icon for all the latest videos as I put them out. Why don't y'all have a great day, because I know I'm going to. I'll talk to y'all later. Ozzy out. Bye, guys.